Well, hello there. Ingafay here. Super excited to be here with you all today. And in today's video, we are going to talk about the fortune is in the follow up. So I am so excited to share this with you today. I wanted to share with you how I was able to 5x the participation in my networking events and my webinars by doing these steps that I'm about to share with you. So this is going to be some juicy stuff. So if you are a person that's putting on different events, and I know many of you are, this is a way that I was able to 5x the participation that I was able to get from one event to the next. So let's talk about follow up. Why should we do it? Because there is definitely fortune in the follow up. We know that we live in a world that people are distracted and have 50 million things that are taking their attention. So we have to remind folks about the different things that we have going on, especially if they have already raised their hand and told us that they want to participate in our events. And the key is follow up. So the first and foremost question that I get oftentimes when I'm talking about follow up is how often should you do it? Well, I'm a firm believer in making sure that you make people aware of the different events that you have. So it's very important that you continuously have the information flowing with them and coming up with the different modes of communication to talk to them. So we are going to focus on how often we do it. I know I was told that it should be at least 4 times. Now, I have done more than 4 times because I realized that if I really want to get people's attention, that I'm going to have to do more than that. But I wanted to give you that kind of baseline amount so you would know what to do or know how many times you should be doing it. So this is not a one-time affair thing. This is not a twice-time affair thing. This is at least 4 times or more. And I have done this probably more than that, and I've gotten better results the more that I do it. Now, I know that some of you are already out there saying, well, girl, I don't want to be a pest. And girl, I get it. I understand that too. But if you had somebody that has registered for your networking event or for a webinar that you're that you have that they want to participate in, or as a challenge that you're doing, or some kind of summit that they signed up for, they have already told you by them merely registering that they're interested in your event. So this is not being annoying. This is just reminding people about the event that they have already told you that they're interested in. So there is a difference here. We have already made connection. They have already raised their hand and said, yes, I am interested. You are just merely making sure that they are going to come to the event when they're supposed to. So that is definitely the difference. So I would say at least 4, but you're probably going to have to do more than that. Now, you may be asking, well, girl, how do you follow up? How are you doing it? Well, I have come to realize that it's imperative for you to use several different modes of communication when doing this, because you don't know what mode of communication is the person's sweet spot unless you ask them. So that could be a way for you to do it too, by asking them which mode is better for them. But then you also will have to hope that they will respond to you, because people are busy and they're distracted. So you may just have to just test and see which ones people respond to. Now, as an introvert, we cater to things that are more in a written form. So, of course, when you think of a written form, what is the first thing that comes to mind? An email. You can definitely send out an email as a reminder to folks. This is a great way for you to actually track if people see it or not, because you can have it via a CRM that you're using, where it's going to tell you how many people have actually opened it, how many people have clicked. It will let you know exactly how the people are interacting with the email. And this will also show you who is interacting to the email and who is not, which means you want to have another mode of communication. Another mode could be actually a text message. I have gotten to the point now that I'm starting to ask people for their cell phone numbers. I am sending them reminders about the event via text, because I know people are going to have their phone on them. And if I really want to get in their world, I can do it via a text very easily. So text could be another form to do it. So you have the email and you have the text. Another way that you can get into their world is through a DM, a direct message on your social media platform of choice. We have several to choose from. You could be on LinkedIn, you could be on Facebook, you can be on Instagram. Wherever your happy place is, this could be another means, a contact with them by connecting with them on that social media platform. Now, again, is it their social media platform of choice? You don't necessarily know, but you won't know until you do it, right? So this becomes the tweaking and repeating kind of thing, this iterative process until you kind of figure out where people's happy place is. And that's where you want to definitely connect with them. So we've talked about the DM, we've talked about the email, we've talked about the text. You can actually do a recorded call or call them directly. If you have a smaller numbers of folks, you can actually call them directly or do a recorded call that actually sends a recorded message out to them, that when they answer the phone, the message is played. You can do it that way as well. So my whole purpose in going over this is just to make sure that you're using different modes of communication to get in contact with them so you can find out what their happy place is. So we've talked about DM, we've talked about email, we've talked about text, we've talked about call. Have you tried the Google Calendar? Google Calendar is great, where you can put the person's email on there and you can either send them a notification via Google that will come up on their phone. So this is another phone thing, or you can send them an email. Personally, I like the notifications because, again, I've tried the email on my CRM. This is another mode of communication through the Google system that's going to send them a notification on their phone. That's going to be quite different from an email. So if they don't get the email, then maybe they'll get the Google notification. But as you see, I have kind of a mixture, kind of a cocktail of different ways of actually getting in touch with the folks, so that whatever their mode of communication is, I'm trying to hit on all of them so I can get in touch with them and let them know about the event. That is how I was able to 5X my event, because I did all of these different mode of communications over a week or so to interact with them so they could be made known, and was able to 5X the participation just by doing these different mode of communication. Now, is this going to take some time and it takes some work? Yeah, it is. But if you have systems in place where you can schedule the messages ahead of time, that's what's going to really help you, making sure that you schedule or even just automate. I know the system that I use for texting, you can actually set up a campaign where you can schedule the different texts on the different dates and times, and it will just automatically just go through the text. Is kind of similar to what an email sequence would do, but it's a text sequence. It's a text campaign that has a sequence to it. You can do that same thing with a Google Calendar, where you're setting that up ahead of time, where you're not having to manually do it. So these things can be scheduled. So I know a lot of you probably say, well, girl, I got 50 million things going. But if you can schedule it ahead of time and let it do its thing, and then just kind of check it to make sure that everything is going the way you want it to go. Now, a tool that I absolutely wanted to share with you today that I love for tracking purposes is Apollo. It's called apollo.io. And the great thing about this is it has a task tracker. It even gives you leads. You can tell it who you're looking for, the type of business that you're looking for, the type of role that you're looking for, and it will go out and find it for you, get the pertinent information, allow you to set up the different modes of communication. So you can set up an email going out, you can do a call, you can do something on social media, you can also do another text. The only thing it doesn't have is the Google notifications. It does not have that, but it has pretty much everything else that allows you to really be able to have a sequence of different tasks to go through. And then it holds you accountable, because it's going to let you know, okay, you said that you were going to contact Susie Q in 3 days. Well, now is the time for you to contact Susie Q. And it tells you these are your tasks for getting to get the things done that you said you were going to get done today. So it constantly reminds you, it tells you all the things that you need to do. You're able to find leads on it, and you still can be focused and have these different modes of communication to get the folks where you want them to go. So if you're doing an event, if you are looking just to do regular outreach and you're having trouble getting in contact with somebody via email, switch it up a bit. Call them. or send them something on social media. Do something different. Don't keep doing the same thing and expecting a different result, because that's a sign of insanity. We want to make sure that we're mixing up our mode of communication so we can talk to the people and find out if they are our person, if they're willing to connect. And if they're not, we can move on. We're looking for either the no or the yes, but when people don't say anything, it kind of leaves us in limbo. So it's really our job to get an answer, whatever that answer may be, right, wrong, or indifferent. But you want to make sure that you're taking the time out to follow up at least 4 times. Do it in at least 4 different ways of communication so you can get the message out there and really find out the answer from them. And then have a tracker that will keep you on point and hold you accountable for the things that you said you were going to do. And it's going to nag you until you do it so you can get it done. So check out the description of this video. I've given you information on this tool called apollo.io that's really going to help you in your outreach. And of course, if there's anything I can do to help you continue to build these relationships with people, we're doing another webinar about building relationships in business for introverts in the coming week. So we'll put that link down in the description as well. And as always, we'll see you next time, and share this video with 3 people that you know so they can be enlightened on the power of follow-up, so they can continue to grow their business and we can rise up and grow our businesses together. We'll see you next time, and bye for now.